Well, once the criminal underworld thrived in silence, but now Sydney's rival crime families are clashing publicly in a deadly struggle for control.
In tonight's episode of 7 News Spotlight, Michael Usher tells all in an eye-opening investigation into the chilling reality of Australia's drug wars. And he joins us now on the couch. Mush, morning to you. Thanks for coming in. So why are gangs resorting to public violence rather than in private now?
They don't care. It's high risk, high reward. The drugs they're bringing into the country and distributing, they're marking up extraordinarily. The Australian Federal Police that we've spoken to as part of this special cannot believe Australians are prepared to pay as much as they do. Insatiable demand and drug use. So they are earning a lot of money. They don't care who they strike, who they get caught in the crossfire at all. The Assistant Commissioner I spoke to, Kirsty Schofield, a really incredible officer with the Australian Federal Police, she told me that cocaine you can get in parts of South America for $5,000 a kilo, here goes for $200,000 a kilo. So there, to answer your question, is the incentive. So they don't care who they get caught up with anymore. They'll attack, as we've seen and we'll feature tonight. We've gone back over the last sort of 10, 15 years. In airports, they shot up a gym, which also struck a childcare centre nearby, bullets flying into that. There were kids in that at the time. An innocent hairdresser caught up in the whole thing. She was a passenger in a car that they struck. They don't care. It's game on, and it really worries the Australian Federal Police.
So motive-wise then, Mush, is it just purely the profits driving this rise in violence?
Yeah, absolutely. High risk, high reward. They don't care. I wrote an article for The Nightly during the week, Matt, that said if the cost of living crisis in Australia was measured by our demand for drugs, there is no cost of living crisis. People are prepared to pay. Cocaine specifically, methamphetamines, a lot of heroin floating around as well. And there's guns. I mean, we like to think we're a gun-safe country, but the guns that they're getting into the country somehow or other, and the methods that they're importing with now are just as brazen as the open gang warfare on the streets. All the things you think about South America getting drugs into the United States is happening here. Dark flights, mystery planes, submarines, metal boxes on the hulls of cargo ships. There's every sneaky way possible. So
the police face enormous challenges, right, trying to stop this. Yeah. Can it be done?
Can be done. And we saw an incredible thing just a week or so ago, you'll remember, with that Operation Kraken and that Ghost app. So very clever technical people inside the Australian Federal Police busted that app, and for a few months the AFP investigators sat in. There's the phone that they showed us for the special tonight. They got in and they were able to listen to and read every message. Now, that app looks like what you and I might use on Instagram or WhatsApp and all of those. It looks the same, reads the same, smartly designed, but a closed circuit amongst drug traffickers and drug dealers. And the AFP was listening. They got in, arrested 38 of them, millions of bucks in cash. They're seizing billions of dollars worth every year of all these fancy assets because the drug dealers and the drug distributors live a flash lifestyle. Yeah. So the taxpayers are eventually getting a bit of money back with all these boats and houses and gold and like $200,000 watches that they're seizing. It's ridiculous, all of this bling, if you want to call it that. So they're getting a bit of money back, but they are cracking them. And they're getting the drugs at the border, but they know a lot more is getting through.
Gives you a sense of the value that's coming in here if they're only just scratching the surface. A lot of it's washing up on the beaches too, as we've seen.
Well, to that point, the AFP have cracked the money launderers too. That's, you know, there's one thing to earn the money out of drugs, but then they've got to wash the dirty cash. They seized 10% of one money launderer's assets recently, and that was $115 million worth of property in Australia. That's just 10% of what the money launderer is getting from the drug syndicates.
They're extraordinary figures, aren't they?
Billions of dollars.
OK, and you've also got a great chat with Jack Thompson. Can't wait for that.
Yep. Look, we have a good job sometimes, don't we? And we got to sit with Jack for a while. He's 84 now. He's got bad kidney issues. He's on dialysis a lot. He's still acting. He's in a very philosophical state of his life, very reflective on everything that he's done. But he's an Australian legend. His voice is still superb. We went and caught up with his mate Brian Brown and Ida Buttrose and got them all together. It's a lovely little feature, a great Australian legend.
Sounds like an amazing show. Thanks, Mush.
Terrific. That is all appearing on 7 News Spotlight this Sunday, 8:50 p.m. on Channel 7 and 7+.